An exchange of gunfire between that individual and two of our officers.
Now at 5, shots fired in West Jordan left 1 dead and 1 officer injured. Here are all the details about the shooting. Plus, 2 houses slide off a hill, collapsing in Draper today. Hear what Draper authorities say happened.
Live from Utah's first TV station, ABC4 News celebrates 75 years.
Hello, I'm Sarah Murphy. Thanks for joining us this evening for ABC4 News at 5. Our top story tonight, 2 houses in Draper destroyed after crumbling to the ground earlier this morning. ABC4's Annika Johns went to the neighborhood and met with city officials who say they've been keeping their eye on the area.
In the early hours of the morning, residents near 2400 East Springtime Road in Draper were awoken by the sound of 2 houses sliding down a hill.
Late last night, we got a call from neighbors saying they heard what they thought was maybe a mudslide and cracking sounds and other sounds from the houses, so they called 911, and then shortly thereafter, the homes collapsed.
The 2 houses had already been evacuated months before when initial worries about the ground the houses sit on came up.
We've been monitoring it all winter long. We were concerned with all the heavy snow and rainfall that the ground was becoming saturated, and just over the last several weeks we noticed additional movement. So we think that the rain and moisture has just got too much.
While these 2 houses have been on the city's watch for some time, after what happened earlier this morning, they've now asked both houses on either side to evacuate.
These homes were built on fill, and we think that the fill is limited to these 4 homes.
City officials say that builders have a geologic house ordinance they are required to follow when building. They submit reports detailing their plan and sign off on those reports, saying that the homes were constructed the way they were designed.
This used to be a ravine, and when the developer wanted to build on it, they had to obviously bring in fill to make it buildable, and their engineers designed a plan that they thought would work.
While the original evacuation was less than ideal for all parties involved, officials agreed that lives were saved today.
We wanted to make sure back then that we were doing the right thing, and it was a difficult decision, but it was the right decision.
1 Utah man is now dead and an officer injured after a shootout in West Jordan. A call came into West Jordan police around 1 this morning saying someone was trying to break into the Novi apartment complex in the area. Now, officers responded to the scene. They said only 1 suspect was there when they arrived and shots were fired.
There was an exchange of gunfire between that individual and two of our officers.
Emergency responders performed CPR on the suspect, but report he died at the scene. The officer has a gunshot wound in his leg. They say he's expected to recover. In southern Utah, a man is in jail after he allegedly assaulted 2 people using a knife and a taser. Moab police reported this morning 2 people stopped a man who was camping and building a fire along a stream, both of which they say aren't allowed in the area. The suspect, Alex Kenso, then reportedly grabbed his backpack and attacked both individuals. He first used a taser on the woman. The other victim, a 53-year-old man, forced the suspect away from the woman and ran away, luring Kenso away following him. Kenso is booked in the Grand County Jail. Both victims are reported right now to be stable. Yesterday, Senator Mike Kennedy's home was vandalized with spray paint as a possible act of retaliation for a transgender bill. Yesterday, Senator Mike Kennedy's home again spray painted in red with a shocking message calling him a fascist and threatening violence. Now, police say they received the call yesterday morning around 7:30, alerting them of the offense.
So that kind of response for him as a legislator is very offensive and very threatening, because it's meant to intimidate legislators so they won't do anything like that in the future.
We received a statement from Equality Utah reading in part, "We want to make it clear that Equality Utah condemns these tactics in the absolute strongest terms. The culture wars are now escalating into real-world violence, and we all have an obligation to take a stand and condemn extremism wherever it manifests, be it acts of vandalism or political acts of violence." Senator Kennedy also issued his own statement via Facebook earlier today saying, quote, "The recent vandalism to my home was not just an attack on me, but on the very principles our state stands for. I won't be intimidated by your cowardly actions. I will not back down from fighting for what is just and right." Time now to shift gears. Let's check in on our pinpoint weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy in for Nate today. Alana, I was getting so excited for the sun, but then the past few days it's been a little rainy.
Oh, we had that system coming through, Sarah, and we dealt with that cloud cover, but those wet conditions holding on in portions of the state. This system, though, clearing. Happy Earth Day, P.S. I know that's today. You know, more than 190 countries celebrate Earth Day. It started back in 1970, and we're showing Utah a little love when it comes to sunshine in the south, but in the north, we've got those showers. Live look at Logan, Cache Valley, showing the cloud cover and a few spotty showers out there. Northwest flow keeping us a little unsettled, and that means isolated activity for the evening and afternoon. And even this morning, a few showers were out there, so something we keep an eye on. As we zoom in, Storm Tracker radar shows us south of Vernal and into Uinta County and over towards the state line. For Colorado, we do have showers, but also the case up near Logan and Bear Lake, where you're getting some spotty activity, and you notice those dark clouds. Bit of a gloomy day with those clouds out there, but we will see a little more sunshine as we head into tomorrow. Satellite radar shows us that northwest flow in action, and you watch the clouds as they stream in, filling all the way in to the eastern side of the state, central Utah, and along the Wasatch Front. Other than that, though, dry conditions for a bulk of the state. Temperatures running below average. Usually this time of year we're in the low 60s. Not today. 50 degrees right now in Salt Lake City, upper 40s in Ogden and Logan, as well as Provo, so still staying on the cool side. Not a surprise with that northwesterly air. 75 in St. George, where it's beautiful for Earth Day. Really nice in the southern portion of the state. We've got a Real Salt Lake game tonight. They're taking on the San Jose Quakes, and you're going to want to grab the coat if you're heading out. Temperatures in the 40s by the time we get our first kick, and by full time, getting even chillier. Now, we do have drier conditions and high pressure wanting to set up. How long it impacts us, and guess what? We've got another storm. I'm tracking that coming up in my full forecast in just a few moments. Sarah, over to you.
All right. Thank you, Alana. Now, here in Salt Lake, after months of training, some athletes are now taking a breath after racing in the 20th annual Salt Lake City Marathon. ABC4 News went to the race, spoke with both runners and spectators there to find out what athletes learned now that they've crossed the finish line. What sounds like a stampede, followed by cheers ringing loud. All for a big day in Salt Lake.
A lot of people around, lots going on. It's a party, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're out here to support our friends. They've been training insanely hard for this.
Thousands gathered from the starting point at Legacy Bridge to the finish line at Liberty Square for the 20th annual Salt Lake City Marathon.
It's a good, positive experience, and I think that's what this community needs. Is we need more positive community experiences to help us kind of grow together as opposed to grow apart.
Athletes ran a marathon, half marathon, 10K, or 5K. For some, it was about speed.
The training finally paid off, and I got an hour and 2 minutes, which is, I was going for less than an hour, but that's close enough.
For others, it was just about crossing the finish line.
We were one of the last, but it's the thought that counts.
I just wanted to finish, honestly. I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to finish.
Athletes celebrating their victory today, encouraging the runners of tomorrow.
The best way to start running is just to run. That's just what it comes down to. You're going to have to get out. You're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to have to deal with pain.
I feel like this atmosphere here is like so energetic, and there's a lot of people who are excited about running, so I think I would for sure do it again.
One man who ran in the Salt Lake Marathon today, a kidney donor, hoping to inspire others with his story. Donor Matt Kavanaugh says he's trying to run 12 marathons by the end of the year, and today he ran in the Salt Lake Marathon. He said running is an outlet for him, and he hopes to motivate others to consider donating as well. He says it shows you can do anything, either with one kidney or two. In 2021, Matt donated his kidney to a complete stranger.
For me, it was an opportunity to pay back all the unknown people that have given me great things in my life. And at a very low risk to myself, I could give someone life. I mean, there's nothing bigger than that.
Now that he's raced today, Matt plans to head to Cincinnati to continue his one kidney, 12 marathons challenge. And if you want to get out of town this weekend, now might be a good time to visit one of Utah's 5 national parks. Today, Utahns visiting any national park across the country can do so for free. It's one of only a handful of days during the year when you can go without paying an entrance fee. Tomorrow kicks off National Park Week, which is why they're encouraging everyone to enjoy the parks in person. So if you've been wanting to hit one up, now is the best time to do so. Coming up here on ABC4 News, preserving access to abortion pills, more on the Supreme Court's decision. Plus, what's news to you, as always, matters to us. Report breaking news or share your story tips with us online at abc4.com/tipline or call the number right there on your screen. And we're taking a live look outside. This is Zion Park Boulevard, and you can see it's sunny down in southern Utah, but more on what the weather is going to look like here in northern Utah after the break.